Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Timo Parker. I'm a vocal coach and I'm here to help you to improve your singing voice. So I'm sitting here in front of the camera and I haven't even decided on the title yet, but I know exactly what I want to talk about, what topic I want to tackle in this video, which is breathing and air pressure, because that's a reoccurring topic that I have to tackle with pretty much anyone who starts working with me. And I already made a video about breath support, so the way you should breathe, or let's say how you engage your rib cage into the breathing process. You can check it out here. And also I've made a video of becoming aware of air pressure, which I'm also going to link here. So these two videos can also help you getting rid of air pressure. But there are a few more things that I would like to tackle in this video, which is pretty much an issue of over breathing when you're singing. And I want to dive into that in this video, so without further ado, let's jump right into it. So overbreathing is not only a topic when we are talking about singing, it can also affect our health and our day-to-day life. And I'm not sponsored or anything, but I just want to mention this book here by James Nestor, Breathe, which is an awesome book where he talks about issues of breathing. I don't want to get too much into this. If you are interested in like how the breath works and how your health can benefit from the right breathing technique, you should definitely check it out. But basically, one of the pillars are that you are breathing through your nose and that we should actually try to breathe less. And even before I read this book, I realized that most of the times we are using too much air when we are speaking and when we are singing. So this book was really resonating with me, and that's why I wanted to mention it as well, because I think not only singers, but in general, for your overall health, this could be an interesting book to check out. Anyway, so one of the most common things that I see when someone sings with air pressure is the following thing. So we have a song that we are singing, and we are singing a phrase. Da, 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 ha, ha. So there's a lot of breathing involved, erratic breathing before each phrase. And this breath builds up over time, because when we are breathing through our mouth so much air in, this air has to go somewhere, right? So we have our lungs where we store all the air, and actually by opening up the rib cage we can change the pressure system within the body, and that's why I use the ribs as a breath support. So even if you inhale too much air, you can kind of get away with it if you're opening up your ribs. But what if I tell you that you maybe don't even need to work that much with your ribs? You should still use them, and that's definitely something you should work on, but sometimes the problem lies already in the way we inhale. So if we inhale too much air, let's say we inhale in this short amount of time so much air that we create pressure and tension within our body, it's going to be very hard to release that while you're singing. So a few tips that I want to give you to become aware of it and to try some things to get rid of air pressure and spot it. And there's one trick that you can use, which can be a very powerful experience, which is that you are exhaling before you start singing a phrase. So for example, you take a relaxed inhale through your nose, you exhale, and then you start singing. So la 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 la. And then inhale again. I just closed my nostrils to show you that I'm not inhaling in between while I sing. So this is something you could try. If your vocal cords are very used to getting a little push from the air, it's pretty likely that they won't work straight away. So I try to imitate it. I'm probably gonna not be the best example at this stage, but what could happen is something like this. You inhale, exhale, so the sound is basically coming out, and you try to compensate that with compression or vocal fries, something like and this is not the way you should do it. So you should try to stay relaxed and make sure that you're completely relaxed within your body. There's going to be some kind of discomfort, because obviously like you have the urge of inhaling at some point, and if this urge is getting too strong, please inhale, don't overdo it. But you can play around with this phase after an exhale before you inhale again, and really experience how your voice would feel and how you can create sound independent from air. So that's a very powerful tool. This is more a starting point because it's obviously not very helpful to do it when you're singing a song, because the phrases are normally longer and you don't want to gasp for air all the time. But what you could do is, instead of exhaling, you are inhaling but a smaller amount of air. And you can still inhale through the mouth. That's fine if you think this is working better for you when you're singing. But what you could also try is to inhale through your nose, because when you inhale through your nose, naturally you get less air into your lungs. So that means, by, let's say you have a split second to inhale, if you do through the nose, I can already feel a huge difference on the amount of air that I'm consuming in this split second. Through your nose, it's going to be less air. So the next step would be either through your mouth, so you have to be really conscious about how much air you're taking in, or through your nose and trying to sing then. So for example, and then you sing, and depending on how you feel, maybe you have to exhale first and then inhale after the phrase, depending on how much air you're losing. But definitely you want to focus on losing less air while you're singing. So there's one thing that I have to mention though, if you try these things, these tricks, and that is that depending on the degree of vocal cord closure that you're using when you're singing, you're gonna have a different experience. So for example, the sounds that I demonstrated before, they had a firm vocal cord closure. So some people would call it more of a chest voice kind of sound. So, but what happens, for example, if we do softer sounds that I promote a lot on this channel, this yawny open sounds? Let's try that for a second. Okay, here I can definitely feel a stronger urge to breathe because the vocal cords are not fully closed, so that means you lose a little bit of air. And it's a bit harder to sing longer phrases with that, and that's completely normal. So just keep that in mind if you're trying these exercises, that depending on how much vocal cord closure you are using when you are singing, it's going to feel different. When you use something with a firm closure, it's always going to be easier to sing longer phrases than if you are singing, for example, with less closure. It is just very important that when you're doing these exercises, that you are not trying to go into something like a vocal fry thing. So whenever you go into something like these kind of sounds, I exaggerated a little bit there. So we put compression on our system, and it's not really helping us to keep the system open where the vocal cords can vibrate freely. So whenever you try something where you exhale and you try to bring the vocal cords together, never do that with force. Always wait for the sound. So I give you one last example. Let's say the sound is not coming straight away, but I don't want you to interfere with it. I just want you to wait and see what happens if you just stay in this moment where the vocal cords could come together at any point. So for example, let's do one more. This one was pretty good, it came straight away. Let's see if I can do a bit more of a crappy example. So here I tried to bring the vocal cords together with the help of vocal fry, and this is what I would encourage you to not to use when you try to bring them together. So you could hear in the previous example that I can bring the vocal cords together without force, and the sound comes almost out of nowhere. In the beginning it can be almost surprising, and it can be also a bit intimidating because you give the control away and it's just closing whenever. And this you want to train to the point where it obeys you again. So you don't try to work against your body and force your vocal cords together. No, you create an environment where you just give your vocal cords the space that they can naturally close again, and then it's going to be much easier over time to get this vocal cord closure without force. Alright, I hope this video was helpful to you. If it was, make sure to like it and subscribe to my channel. And also, if you're interested in working with me, make sure to click on the link below where it takes you to my website where you can book one-on-one classes with me. In these classes we can focus on extending your range, making your voice more flexible, but primarily staying healthy and using mechanisms that serve you and that help you to develop over time more and more. Also, I'm happy to announce that my singing masterclass is going online very soon, so make sure for more updates to subscribe to my email list on my website, and you will know immediately when it's released and also get a little discount code, as I mentioned already in a previous video, so make sure to do that as well. So thanks so much for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye!